Hi guys, so I'm going to read Fantastic Four number 62. So in the schedule I said I'd read Marvel Team Up number 1, but I decided to push that back to Christmas time because that story is a Christmas story. So I'll switch out the Marvel Christmas special for Marvel Team Up number 1. And later on in the week I'll just read Tales to Astonish number 49 for the Fantastic Four slot. But anyway, Fantastic Four, the world's greatest comic magazine. And one shall save him. The grieving FF learn to abandon hope is to abandon life. And one shall save him.
Maybe we can't help Reed, but we can still contact him. I just remembered this trans-barrier phone he was working on to reach into the negative zone. Reed, this is Ben. Can you hear me, man? It's Ben. I'm calling you.
In a desperate effort to save Sue, Ben, and Johnny from the Sandman's murderous attack, Reed Richards hurled open the fateful door leading to the dreaded negative zone. His daring action routed their enemy, but Reed himself was caught in the sudden surge of unleashed force, and carried away beyond any hope of rescue.
Can you do it, Ben? Can you really get through to him?
Contrived and crafted by the curiously creative, catastrophically compelling collaboration of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, inking Joe Sinnott, lettering Sam Rosen.
Quiet, blast it. I'm trying to hear something. Wait, he's coming through. I'm getting him. Ben. You got him. That's his voice. Let me have it, Ben. Let me talk to him. Hold it, kid. Hold it. Don't do it, Ben. Don't use phone. Give up idea. No chance of rescue. No chance. But there must be something we can do. Use your head, pal. Think. Think of something. Anything. Listen, Ben. And listen close. Say the word stretch. Just tell me. Whatever it is, I'll do it. We'll all do it. We can't just give up. I'm caught in a debris belt, being drawn inexorably toward the exploding area around Earth. There's no way to check my speed. It would be as impossible as trying to stop gravity itself. I can hear you and speak to you via the communicator on my wrist, but it's hopeless. I'm done for. Speed is increasing, almost out of communication range. It's goodbye, old friend. You and Johnny were the greatest. And Sue, take care of her. Both of you. Look after her. Always. Tell her how much I loved her. Tell her I'll always love her. His voice died out. Can't hear anymore. That means he's out of range. It can't end this way. It mustn't. Reed! Reed! My darling, please come back. Come back. Don't, Susie. Don't. Hold on, kid. Reed wouldn't want it like this. Now I know why he told me not to use the phone. He knew we couldn't help him. And he knew what hearing his voice would do to you. But how can we leave him this way? How can we desert him when he needs us most? We're losing him forever and doing nothing. Nothing. I give up my life in a minute, kid. I take anything that anyone could dish out if it would help him. But there ain't no way.
No, there's always a way. Reed himself used to tell us that.
Then, even as Sue's tremulous cry still stings the grieving souls of Ben and Johnny, a strange ethereal glow fills the tragedy-haunted chamber, as, from its vortex, an ecstatic call rings out.
Johnny, I knew I'd find you someday. I knew Lockjaw would bring me to your side. Johnny, don't you hear me? It's Crystal. We're together again. At last.
It must be the strain. The unrelieved shock. Now I'm hearing things. My mind is beginning to fail me. It can't be. And yet, her voice. I know it anywhere. She's here. It was what I wanted. More than anything in the world. But not now. Not like this.
Johnny, don't you care? Do I no longer mean anything to you?
Don't say it, Chris. You don't understand. You don't know what's happened.
Then tell me, my dearest. Whatever is wrong. I want to know. I want to help.
Look! Look through the scanner. That figure there. Plunging through the negative zone. See it? There. Getting smaller and smaller. Further and further away from us. It's Reed! Do you understand? It's Reed! He's plummeting to his death. Towards Earth's explosive belt. And, with all our powers, there's no way for us to save him. All we can do is stand helplessly by and watch.
I didn't know. I never suspected.
It ain't right. It don't make sense. I'm strong enough to lift 10 tons with my bare hands. But what good does it do? We stood up to Galactus himself. We beat Doc Doom to a frazzle. We tamed Dragon Man and a dozen like him. But when it counts the most, we can't even lift a finger to save the greatest guy who ever lived. Can't stand seeing Sue like that. She ain't even saying nothing. Just standing there. Like she's dying right along with him. On the inside.
I think I understand now. Mr. Fantastic, your leader, is trapped in something you call a negative zone? And is being drawn closer and closer to an area in which he cannot hope to survive? Stop it! Stop it! How can you speak of it so calmly? As though it's just a story. As though it isn't really happening to my husband. The man I love. Forgive me, Mrs. Richards. I am not unfeeling. I can only help if I am in full possession of the facts.
Help? What are you talking about? What in blazes can you do that the three of us can't?
Perhaps I can do nothing, but there are others. Remember, the Inhumans have power unlike any other living beings.
If there was some way I could harness my flame and... What? The Inhumans? Are the others free too? Chris! Is Black Bolt with you? And Gorgon? And Karnak? And the others?
No, they're far away, over the ocean.
Then what good can they do? Reed's only got a few minutes left.
But don't you see? Time and distance are completely meaningless. Lockjaw's power of interdimensional travel is instantaneous. Back, Lockjaw. Take me back to Black Bolt.
Chris, wait! What will you...
I cannot explain. Trust me, Johnny.
They're fading away again! And, at that split second, within the awesome negative zone itself, an event occurs which is witnessed by none, save ourselves.
We have only seconds in which to rid ourselves of our deadly cargo.
He is far too dangerous to remain at large upon our own planet.
And yet, so powerful is he, that we have not the means to slay him.
Therefore, our only solution is to exile him, here in the debris belt.
If we can do it without being destroyed ourselves. We have reached our destination. The space boulders which surround us are being inexorably drawn to their final annihilation. The prisoner must be ejected from the ship so that he may join them before the sedative, which keeps him motionless, can begin to wear off.
And before we ourselves are caught in the irresistible suction, and unable to return.
He is correctly positioned upon our magna crane, safely encased within his adhesion suit. Set the controls for instant reverse, as I propel him toward the nearest flying boulder.
A scant second later, the silent figure adheres to the side of a speeding chunk of space debris, as the strange roaring craft zooms back from whence it had come. But then, an unpredictable fate frivolously arranges a most fateful and dramatic coincidence.
A rocket-powered spacecraft, here in the negative zone. That means, even in this mad, nightmarish universe, some form of intelligent life must exist. If only I had known. If I could have prepared some signal. But it's too late. At the speed they're traveling, I'm no more than a fleeting blur to them.
Remember the coincidence we spoke of? In truth, it is far greater, far more momentous than any might suspect. For, although completely unaware of another presence, Reed Richards clings fatefully to his self-same boulder, upon which the unknown menace now silently adheres.
There is so much yet to learn, so much to see and marvel at. What a pity it all must end so soon, before I have a chance to unravel the myriad mysteries of this strange, uncanny universe. But there will be others, those who will come after me, and they will unlock the secrets of the cosmos, one by one. For the mind of man is the greatest key in the world, the key which may one day open the door to immortality. And each of us, in his own way, does what he can to those who will follow. That is the only true legacy we can leave to those we love. That we have made the world a little better than we found it.
But we now must leave the brooding, ill-starred leader of the world's greatest superhero team, as we turn our attention to a small island off the coast of Europe, where an astonishing tableau is about to transpire.
Our nuclear sub is slipped through the NATO radar net, just as we planned.
Faster, faster! Once our atomic nullifier is in position, this now deserted island will be ours. Then, with a base such as this, so close to the mainland, it is we who shall dictate terms to the Western Alliance. Careful, you clumsy oaf. The ray cannon you are pushing may change the balance of power on this entire planet.
It is almost too easy. There is not another living being for miles who suspects our presence here. Position the cannon upon the highest peak. Set all controls for instant activation. We open fire at once. We will ring the isle with an atomic curtain that nothing can penetrate.
Look! Over there! What is that?
Silence, fool! This is no time for observation tests.
But it is a man flying toward the cannon. It is not possible! He soars like a bird! He is pointing at the cannon!
A fusillade of electrons issues from his fingertips.
No, no!
He has decimated the greatest weapon in our arsenal.
Help! He seizes us! As though we are weightless! He carries us off!
He glides silently, effortlessly, under his own power.
What is he? What madness is this?
But before the stunned invaders can recover from the shock of Black Bolt's lightning attack, another of the uncanny Inhumans enters the fray, as only Gorgon can.
You dare attempt to occupy the isle upon which we have taken refuge? For that you shall pay, and pay most dearly. So, there are those who escape the fury of Gorgon's thunderous kick. No matter. I have only to raise my mighty leg once more.
That will not be necessary. Suffice it to say that Medusa's here.
The island is cursed!
No matter who they are, or what they are, I can't miss them at such a close range. How wrong you are. I shall not give you the chance you need.
One man, alone, unarmed. You must be insane.
No, I am not insane. I am Karnak.
Get him before he can strike again.
He cannot stop us all. So, once more you dare to pit yourselves against the power of Karnak. You are one, alone, where we are three, fully armed. Thus we dare anything.
Using the most delicate, barely perceptible wrist motion, the confident Inhuman executes an intricate maneuver with each hand as he butts his third foe senseless. Then, in less time than it takes to read these imperishable words,
We thought this isle would afford us the privacy we crave. It appears we were mistaken.
Perhaps it was all to the good. After what has just transpired, it is unlikely that any will intrude upon us again.
Black Bolt has nodded assent. He agrees with Gorgon's words. But now, what do we do with those we have overcome? Of course, all you need to do is create an electron field to contain them in safety. Yes, a field which Black Bolt will cause to automatically vanish when we are ready to send them to the mainland. But our task is not yet completed. The enemy submarine remains offshore, where it still may menace us. And what of Triton? There is no sign of him. He alone is missing.
even as Medusa speaks, the water-breathing Inhuman silently examines the armored hull of the grim, gray sub, which has missiles enough to atomize the nearby isle. And then, at last, he finds what he seeks: the heart of the vessel, the vital reactor room. Though not as powerful as the regal Black Bolt himself, the aquatic Inhuman is able to generate enormous pressure within his own body, pressure which enables him to survive at the very depths of the swirling sea. Pressure enough to provide the strength he needs to flood the entire reactor room with one titanic blow.
Our invasion has failed! We must destroy the island! Fire all missiles! The ship is settling. The reactor room is flooded. We are helplessly trapped. Only by radio to NATO for aid can we be saved. It It is unthinkable.
Another few seconds and the island would have ceased to exist. But now, all is lost.
And so,
The moment the sub vanished, we knew where you were, Triton.
I see the fighting has ended. It is good. But a new matter has arisen. Crystal has returned. She seeks our aid.
She is one of us. With Black Bolt sent, we will do what we can.
There's not a second to lose. I will explain.
Speak then, Crystal. Black Bolt assumes the stance of full attention.
quickly, earnestly, without wasting a heartbeat or a word, the lovely sister of Medusa describes the deadly predicament of Reed Richards. And then,
Unless help reaches him within minutes, the leader of the Fantastic Four will perish. He has fought for us, aided us in the past. We cannot fail him now. Black Bolt has nodded. Reed Richards will be saved. All that remains is for our monarch to select the one of us who is best qualified for the task. Quickly, Black Bolt. I beg of you, make your choice quickly.
instantly, a pair of blazing, unblinking eyes scan the small assemblage, silently deliberating, weighing, deciding, until
He rests his glance upon one. The decision is made. Black Bolt has chosen. I thought it would be one of the others.
No matter the danger, Black Bolt commands. I stand ready.
But now that I think of it, the choice is a wise one. Of course, no one else could serve as well.
meanwhile, back at the penthouse headquarters, atop the world-famous Baxter Building,
Them boulders are getting closer and closer to the disintegrating area. Why don't that gal get back here? Where is she? We're running out of time.
The others probably told her how hopeless it is.
It looks like we can reach out and touch him. And yet, he's worse off than if he was calling for help on the moon. I can't take it no more. Just can't stand here just watching, doing nothing. If my buddy's gotta die, if there's nothing we can do about it, at least I don't have to watch it.
Ben, don't! You're ripping out the whole wall scanner. Ben!
I gotta do something. Anything. Even if it's just tearing this whole blasted building apart.
It's no use. He's too far gone. I can't stop him. And what's the diff? What good would it do? If I could.
but then, just when everything seems the darkest, the most tragically hopeless,
Crystal! You're back!
Are we still in time? We don't know. The view screen is shattered. But who is that? Whom have you brought with you? The one person who has the power to help. It is Triton, the water-breathing aquatic inhuman. But why him?
Deepest space, whether positive or negative, is like a vast, endless ocean. Only Triton is able to maneuver under such conditions. Only I have a chance of finding Reed Richards in the limitless reaches of the unknown.
If you can move as good as you make speeches, Reed's as good as saved.
Ben, open the entrance to the space-time chamber. Slowly this time. One safety chamber after the other.
After what happened last time, lady, you don't have to tell me twice. Good luck, Fishman. Here goes.
Close chamber 1. Open chamber 2. That's it. Don't stop. Now, open 3. Close 4. Now 5. 6.
It is done. I've reached the barrier. Now, there could be no turning back. In a strange negative universe, stretching endlessly into infinity, only I can sense the proper direction to take. Only I can navigate in the mysterious miasma of nowhere. I, who can locate one strand of seaweed within the bottomless ocean. Now must I find a helpless human, being born inexorably to his death within the swirling sea of subspace.
Remember FF number 56, where Reed was studying a bizarre monster from negative space? Well, just to show you we weren't kidding, Triton also encounters similar unearthly denizens of the deadly world in which he finds himself.
There is no time to investigate the strange life forms which whirl endlessly past. I must find the one I seek before it is too late.
And, for those of you who are hung up on ironic situations, how about the fact that one of Reed's purposes in investigating the negative zone was to find a means of rescuing the Inhumans from behind their unbreakable barrier? Now, one of those very same Inhumans, having been freed by Black Bolt, risks his own life to come to the aid of Mr. Fantastic.
I must change course. I sense that Richards is behind me, hurtling through the debris belt which lies beyond.
And then, the only living being with the inhuman power to find one lone man amidst a boundless, ever-changing universe, suddenly sights his objective.
I have found him. He is just ahead. He sees me, but he is trying to wave me back.
Don't do it! Don't come any closer! If you're able to change your course, go back! It's too late to save me! I'm plunging into the exploding atmosphere!
You have risked your life in the past to aid the Inhumans. Surely I can do no less.
Then stay where you are! I'll try to reach you in my own way.
You did it! I have you.
Back! Get back! The explosions are starting! Another second would have been too late!
But, as the valiant Triton uses his air jet gun to zoom away from the area of spatial carnage, neither he nor the man he has saved are aware of another figure in an adhesion suit. A figure possessing such strength, such raw, untapped power, that the deadly explosions do not more than revive him as he finally begins to stir. With an ear-piercing roar, he frees his bestial head, studying the cataclysmic scene with instant comprehension.
So, this is how they thought to rid themselves of Blastaar.
Then, in a mad, seething paroxysm of uncontrollable rage, his mighty fingers tense like living detonators, as indescribable pressure surges from his groping hands into the rock beneath.
No such puny device can long trap the most deadly of all living beings.
No sooner are the words out of Blastaar's mouth when...
Ha! I have done it! I am free once more.
Like a living rocket, the deadly being from negative space propels himself forward by a series of incredible blasts from his own uncanny fingertips, as his merciless mind formulates a plan of action.
There is no place within the negative zone where I can find shelter. I have been exiled from subspace, but I must find a haven, some new world to ravage. What is this? Ahead of me, within the distortion area, approaching the fourth dimension. Two figures. They go where none before them have ever gone. Ha! But now, they will not go there alone.
And within FF headquarters, a mood of frenzied despair settles like a pall over the four, who wait, hardly daring to hope.
It's been so long now. So long. You must have faith, Mrs. Richards. Triton will not fail.
If only you hadn't broken the scanner bin. We could see what's happening.
Okay. How much longer you gonna beat a dead horse? I didn't know we'd be wanting the blasted gizmo.
Wait, all of you. Look at the barrier.
Something's happening to it. It's starting to glow. That means it's getting activated. There's someone coming through. It could be them.
Johnny, I can't bear to look. Can you see? Can you tell who it is?
Not yet, Sue. But we'll know. In a second.
Let's go, kid. Something's materializing. Right now. Stretcho! You're back! He got you!
I can still hardly believe it, Ben. I thought it was curtains for sure this time. Sue, I've got to see her. I know how she must have felt. It was a close call, but the result is all that counts. Triton, you're the greatest. I shall not soon forget the courage, the iron nerve of your Mr. Fantastic. Come on, big brother-in-law. We'll help you back inside.
There's one good thing came out of all this. He's too bush to toss or any 6-bit words at us. Anyway.
But, even as they slowly trudge from the chamber, there are none to notice another figure who has slipped through the barrier, behind them.
I know not what puny world I have entered, but I can plainly see that the beings herein will be no match for the bludgeoning power of Blastaar. Still, I must find an ally, one to guide me here, until I am ready to dispose of him. Cities, reaching skyward, instead of being built deep within the sheltering planet itself. This world is stranger, more primitive than I had suspected. And to think it is all mine for the taking. What do I sense? A giant hand, reaching from above. Ha! Now I got... Huh? I thought you'd be one of the Fantastic Four. I never saw you before. But I'll have to polish you off anyway. Can't leave anyone around to warn them. And you too are a criminal. I am in luck. Yeah, a fat lot of good it's gonna do you. I am not certain I understand your primitive colloquial expressions, but there is no mistaking your hostile tone of voice. I now select you to serve as my ally, my guide on this unsuspecting planet. But first, sample just a fraction of the power I can unleash against you if you seek to betray me. An explosion from your fingertips!
Special note. In case you've been wondering how all our alien characters seem to speak the same language, it's because most of them are outfitted with automatic models of new, universally approved, no-rust automatic translators. Ooh boy.
Say, you really mean it. You're not a human. And you want to team up with the Sandman, huh? Well, why not? Any guy who's got 5 built-in rocket cannons on each hand can come in mighty handy. But do not consider yourself an equal. In the world I come from, I was supreme. None could match the power of Blastaar. And now, this paltry, doomed planet is about to feel that same power. Once you have taught me what I must know. I'll string along with them for now, till we polished off the FF. But what'll happen after that?
However, we witnessed enough tumult and tribulations for one reading, so let us turn to a pleasanter scene once again.
If you ever hear me make a crack against any other human fish face, just clobber me with a wet mackerel.
I'm sure that will never be necessary, my friend. Hey, Reed! Susie, break it up! Man, that's the loudest silence I ever heard. Oh well, they gotta come up for air sometime. I can imagine the happiness in their hearts, Johnny, for I feel the same.
Sue, my darling.
Oh, Reed!
Brother! That's our cue to cut out. Cries. If you ever catch me sounding like that, just want me with old Ben's wet mackerel.
If I ever catch you sounding like that, Johnny, I'll probably be the happiest girl in the world.
Hey, you know something, kids? I may start getting sick. Love. Yeesh. It's just a whole lot of mush. At least, that's what a slob like me had to keep telling himself.
Next, Blastaar. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you could like, comment, subscribe, that'd be appreciated. If you have any requests you want me to do, just let me know in the comments, and I'll tell you when I can do the request. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.